Okay, this is a Wayne Dalton 9100 with Wayne Dalton 9100s. The bottom corner brackets, you can see right here, protrude past the door an extra 1/8 of an inch, and that's to protect the nub for the cable to mount to. And so we're typically between concrete foundations, from here to that one, you'd need the door width plus 3 inches on a standard door, but on a 9100, because of that little nub, you need door width plus 3½ inches. Now you can see the installer here made an attempt at it, and he chipped away the concrete. Looks like maybe with a hammer. A rotohammer would have worked much better. You can see right there, the track's up against the concrete. So when we close the door, right here, we start to pinch. You can see the whole track move. And as we go down further and further, we're squeezing. And now we're so squeezed so tight that the track and the roller have bound up inside there. So what needs to happen is take a rotor hammer, put it on hammer mode, not on rotate mode, and just take the biggest bit you have and go through and clean those out, these high ridges. Of course, it'd be better to use a masonry bit on your angle grinder, cut them out a lot quicker and easier, cleaner, but a rotor hammer will take that out right there, right there, right there, and then get us that extra 1/4 inch we need for smooth operation of this door. In the meantime, it wants to stop right there because we're too tight. The other problem we have here is the location of our track bracket. That's up 36 inches off the ground, so all this track down here is going to be loose. It's going to wiggle a lot. There are 2 ways to solve this. You can either use a bracket right down here and pin it into the concrete using concrete lags like we've done here. Now this lag here isn't any good because there's only 1 in there, and 1 will allow it to twist. Okay, yeah, no good. So there has to be at least 2 in there. The other way, besides taking this bracket, going down here and pinning it into the concrete, and open the door, would be to reverse the bracket. Take that bracket, cut it off right there, cut that off, and then reverse it and mount it right here. Okay, and then with the reverse bracket mounted, you got to clear out a little more concrete back here to make room for it. You can reverse mount that bracket right here, and then hold this weather stop in a 1/2 inch all the way around the door. That 1/2 inch being held in will create enough space for that lag head not to run into the door as it opens and closes. The other potential fix for this issue with the concrete being so tight here is in a lot of cases you'll have the concrete doesn't come out far enough, and it's only off by maybe a 1/2 inch. Well, you can get that 1/2 inch by holding your weather seal into the garage a 1/2 inch, and basically holding your track back out extra 1/2 inch. If we had the weather seal in a 1/2 inch and we pulled our track back a 1/2 inch, we'd miss a lot of this concrete, making it a lot easier to give the room we need. That looks like it. Oh, here, vinyl are folded over like that. So vinyl, a lot of times out of the box, has to fold underneath, and the door catches it, and we'll pin it under like that. And when pinned under, it hardens like that and stays there. So when we finish installing a door, we need to check and make sure that it's not pinned under, and we pull it up flat so that it can stay that way. Now, if you leave it that way for a couple of days, it'll stay out and you won't have that problem anymore. But in a lot of cases, when you leave the garage closed, and you close the door down, you run your finger around it, flatten that vinyl out, someone will come along after you 10 minutes later, open the door, and it'll curl back under, and the door will come down and pin it under backwards again. So to solve that problem, you close your door, you run your finger behind it so that it's laying flat properly on the door, and then use a heat gun and heat it up and let it cool. And when it heats up and cools, it'll be molded into the proper shape where it's folding out against the door like it's properly supposed to. That's it.